Hi guys, it's Mr. Atha here with a quick lesson for today. We're going to start by looking at peak flow. So this note is in the note task anyway, so you can just copy it from the Google document. But peak flow is what we call the maximum rate at which air can be forced out of the lungs. So think of this as like your hardest breath. We can use this value as an indicator for the control of asthma. So basically, if you're asthmatic, you have a lower peak flow. So this is a way of finding out if somebody has damage in the lungs, such as the condition asthma. So your peak flow, if you're healthy, depends on a few different factors, such as your age, your gender, your mass, and your fitness. Low peak flow values could potentially indicate that you have some lung-related illnesses, and this includes asthma. In the top right there, you can see a peak flow device. Okay, so this is what a peak flow meter looks like. On the far right, there's the mouthpiece. You put this in your mouth and you blow hard once. That moves the indicator along this scale away from you. And you can see here the indicator's right up at its maximum 800. So there's a scale there. If you blow hard and you get a low number on the scale, that can indicate a lung condition such as asthma. How high on the scale you can go depends on your age, your gender, your fitness, and your overall mass. In your notes, you are shown a picture of this, and then you're shown a simplified diagram to label. So label the mouthpiece, label the scale and the indicator, and this device is called a peak flow meter, and we use it to measure peak flow. Okay, so this is the diagram from your notes that you're going to copy into your jotter and take pictures of us to complete the task this week. In school, we normally do this experiment with you, which you can't do at home, but if you watch this video, it shows you how to use the peak flow meter, and then your task this week is to carry out work with the results of an experiment. So we've provided the results for you. Hi guys, Mr. Atha here. So I'm just going to use this device to look inside my body at my lungs, okay? So hopefully what you can do is see inside me right now. When you take a big deep breath in, air is going to move down a tube in your neck. We call that tube the trachea, okay? Now you'll notice I've got two lungs, so the trachea has to split left and right. So the air comes down the trachea, splits into your two bronchi, and then it fills up your lungs. So when you take a big deep breath, you'll feel your diaphragm muscle coming in the way as it contracts, and that allows your lungs to inflate, okay? Now the problem with some lung diseases, that this pipe, these tubes that allow the air to come all the way inside can get blocked up. So if you smoke, it can get blocked up with tar. If you have conditions like asthma, these tubes can become narrow and they can become inflamed. Now that can be triggered by certain things like pollen or like dog fur. We can't cure asthma yet. What we can do is understand the biology behind it a little bit better so that we can try and prevent asthmatic attacks. Okay, so what we're going to do is travel inside the lungs. We're going to go into the lungs and we're going to look up at the tube inside of us. So we're standing inside an air sac, which is basically millions of little balloons inside your body which fill up with air, and then the oxygen can move into the blood that you can see moving there, and the CO2 can get moved out. If we look it back up towards my mouth, that is the tube that the air has came down. And if you're asthmatic, that tube can become very narrow, it can become blocked with mucus, and it can become inflamed. That's why it's important if you're asthmatic, you always have an inhaler at hand.